Have you ever wanted to download something, but then you realize you need to pay to use it? Whether it's a game, an application, or a book, all your problems can be solved with piracy. After a simple process of installing a torrenting software, you can download almost anything for free. Piracy is something that has been condemned by both the government and large corporations for many years at this point. And it's clear to see their incentive. They're the only ones not gaining anything. So, let's construct an argument in support of piracy together. First, we need to establish the claim that we are defending. Piracy, when used on popular apps owned by large corporations, is an ethically defensible act. Next, we need to establish a basic reasoning as to why this is true. Piracy is an act of civil disobedience and rebels against those with institutional power. Next, rebelling against those with institutional power contributes to the equal distribution of power, which is ethically defensible. Therefore, piracy under these conditions is ethically defensible. Now that we have a basic framework for why we're defending piracy, we need to establish the grounds of our claims. For our grounds, let's choose a framework to base our argument in. For this specific case of piracy, consequentialism will fit our needs the best. So, what grounds do we need to cover for consequentialism? We need to cover what the ends are, what the means are, and why the ends justify the means. Let's consider a single case of piracy for this example. For this, the ends are that an individual gains the benefits roughly equivalent to the monetary value of the market value of the pirated application. And the means are that the company does not gain anything. The company does not directly lose anything, but it does lose the value of the labor it took to make one copy of their product, which is strictly less than the market value because of profit margins. So the logic here is that the ends are that the individual gains the market value of the application, and the company loses less than the market value of the application. Because the individual is likely underprivileged in comparison to the large corporation, and because human rights outweigh the rights of a company, the ends justify the means. Now, if we scale this up past just one example, a little proof through induction, we can see why, in general, for piracy, the ends justify the means. All right, and that's the argument. Any questions? Okay. You first.
Don't companies still deserve the right to make profits off their products?
Right, and they will. Pirating requires extra work and, to the layperson, a relatively complicated setup. And because of that, most people will never pirate anything. And the people that do pirate will only do so if it's necessary in their situation. They're not gonna pirate every single show they watch when they can just pay $5 or $6 a month for a streaming service. Yeah, you.
Yeah, I feel like individuals don't deserve the right to access a paid application if they haven't exchanged something of equal value for it.
I understand where you're coming from, but if we use this logic, neither do the CEOs or company executives deserve the right to earn the plurality or even majority of the profits from their product when they've put in the least amount of work compared to their developers and other company employees. This notion that someone must directly provide value to someone else in order to receive something is inherently capitalist and anti-humanitarian. It also ignores that even in this very capitalist economy, this rule is not followed, especially for people in positions of power. I hope that even if you disagree with the claim of this argument, you at least understand the grounds and reasoning and why it's a valid argument. I only intended to advocate for piracy in relation to popular computer applications like the ones found on the Pirate Bay. Even though I do believe that all piracy is good, it was not my intention to argue that in this video. I believe that piracy is socialist and anti-authoritarian in nature and thus should be argued on those grounds. If you
have a response to my argument or any other comments about anything else in this video, you know what to do.